Welcome, everyone. My name is Erin from Caravan Sound. We've got Channel 1 with us today, Mikey Dread and Macky Banton. We're very excited to have them perform a show with us. It's their first time out in Minnesota, so grateful to have you here, and I really appreciate you taking some time to answer a few questions with us as well.
That's so
Thank
fine.
you
Good
very much.
thanks.
Yeah. So we're going to hop right into it. First off, I kind of want to just start off with, could you tell us a bit what it was like growing up with sound system culture in your family?
Well, it is what it is. What it is, you know. Started off very young because pops had a sound system, and so always growing up with amplifiers and speakers and turntables, you know, from since childhood. So and it just became part of the norm. That's it. That's in our culture. You know, we used to have we call it blues dance parties in our house. Well, when you was young, and you see all these big people dancing. So you know, just came up from that really. Hmm.
Definitely. And how did you see reggae music and sound systems develop once, it was really making its way throughout the UK?
Well, reggae music, as I say, it's always been there from since I know it, and it's from basically from the 70s, 60s, 70s, and come right up. You know, you have a little change as you're going along, but reggae music has always been the center of um, black community. I think it's it, and that's very important.
Definitely. And was there a point that you saw it really gain a lot of traction as you were growing up, or because it was so ingrained into your family and culture that?
No, we saw it as well because that's when Jamaica and the UK was having artists coming in from Jamaica at the time, and when you have artists coming up from Jamaica, it was it's like a big show, big program. I think to see these artists what you're playing on your turntable, and you come and see them live. They say that was very big thing at that time.
Who would you say some of the artists that really influenced your musical taste growing up?
For me, it was Rankin Dread, but he's deceased now. R.I.P. He's died in a Jamaican jail. It was him, Super Cat, Rankin Joe, certain MCs, the veterans, the older ones, Iroy, Peter Metro, the older generation of MCs. And I just used to, Rankin Dread he used to come over to London. And when we first started at a young age of 16 on Jatabi Sound System, he would come over and, well dressed, all the gold on and looking very good and everything. So he had a voice like, he didn't have to say much, but his voice was special. And I just always wanted to, I started off pirating him when I was young. I always wanted to be like Rankin Dread. And not the gangster, but, the normal. And that's how it started with me. And he's the one who influenced me to want to be an MC. Yeah,
Was there a handful of shows you got to see of his then growing up that?
when we played the sound system young, and we got to like Birmingham or Huddersfield or Northampton, he would be appearing on the bill, and then we see him live, and it was like in the 70s, early 70s, late 70s for me, 1978, around that time, 1979, and seeing him live made me think, yeah, this is what I want to do, and it's come to pass, and this is what's happened. So as we see now, sound system culture, as we got guys like Mr. Taylor around here now, and certain people, right? It's took it to a different level. The sound system's just gone completely great. So yeah, basically, that's what I wanted to do.
Awesome. What about you?
Um, see, when I was playing out back in them days, excuse me, a lot of people talk about Bob Marley and the Wailers, but when you see them live, that's a different experience. And things like that. So I've seen Bob Marley live, Bob Marley and the Wailers, and from from Channel One back in 70s, 80s, 90s. I played with Dennis Brown. I played with Yellowman. I played with Burning Spear. And they say all these artists, we play with. I think that's Channel One sound system growing up. And they say so you just these artists is stood the test of time. And so no matter what other music comes from, whether it's computerized music or whatever, the roots music was always the foundation. And that's how Channel One is carry that journey. So I played, as I said, I played with all these artists, and Mighty Diamonds. All these artists has been through somewhere along Channel One's journey. That's the fact.
I love that, especially to see some of those such large name artists that are, household names in this music must have been really impactful. To the next one, I wanted to ask you how you saw the different political climates influence this music and culture throughout your youth.
Yeah, well, obviously, from the early days, to be honest with you, it was it's like a black community, as he said, from Jamaica coming into England, yeah. And when we were coming up, it was always like a oppression. It was a fight against the system, really, and it was our release. It was it's our radio station, to get over. And then obviously you had other influences like the skinheads and certain other people who came into the music and united the music. And the white and black thing started combining. So it wasn't actually a color thing, it was against the system, which people would say the Babylon system then, yeah? So basically, after a long while and things started changing and changing and changing, you just saw that this thing became a community all around the world, you know? So that was the change. I mean, you never would have thought like places like this would have sound system. It wasn't a thing where in the early days, especially in London, there wasn't really white people in the dance, but now the majority around the world, 92% are, Caucasian or, of a different color, different nationality, could be Japanese, could be whatever, Latinos. So it's changed a great lot compared to how it was our little community thing in London coming from Jamaica. It's changed now, and to go places like New York and China, Japan, Cambodia, Vietnam, Australia, all over the world. So yeah, it's developed. Sound systems just took a different path, and it's a good thing to see it evolve. Basically, you know.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. There's such a powerful community that has came through sound system culture of just unifying so many people from all over to understand a bit of its history and watch how it's expand internationally. And I mean, you both have played such a huge role in that as well. So to be a part of that history and evolution is really cool. And now, Mac, you answered this a little bit, and I know, Mikey, you also alluded to it, but I did want to just elaborate. At what point did you realize that you wanted to make music, your full career, your whole life?
When you get fed up of getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, when you get fed up at 7 o'clock in the morning going to work, and the supervisor telling you you're 5 minutes late, I said, no, I can't do this again. So I take my hobby and make it into a business. And I said, I want to work by myself. And the elder Rastaman at the time, very old Rastaman, told me, he said, Mikey, be in charge of your destination. When he said that, that resonated with me. I said, yeah, that's where I need to go. And he said, so that's how reggae music become my life. Sound system become my life. Rastafari become my life. Highly.
Thank you for sharing that. I feel there's so many people out in this world who, need to hear those types of messages to realize, take your passion and make it your life. We only have one time to really experience everything. So thank you for sharing that. So you are very well known for your, musical selection as well as the rarity of some of the tracks that you share. Would you want to just explain a bit of your, creative process about discovering vinyls, obtaining dub plates, selecting tracks?
Well, so a lot of sound system will go on what power they have on their sound system. That's what's happening nowadays. And we've been doing that since creation. And you see, but when you have an art form into selecting, that's a different kettle of fish. You have to select, and there's only a few people what you can say is really a selector. And we can fiddle on with sound system and all day long. But when you actually select, to actually entertain. That's the name of the game, because people will come and see you entertain, select certain tunes, what they know and what they don't know, and this is the most important thing. Sometimes you have to select certain tunes, what they know. It's not a point in that you're having tunes that, well, we built this tune this morning, or we built this tune in our bedroom, we built this tune in the toilet, we built this tune in the kitchen. You see, so when you have you nurture tune, and you what they say, your champion tune. That's how we used to do when I used to go to Jamaican cut dubs, and your champion and actually tune. That's only your song can play. I say when your song can play, and it will come out probably a year and a half time, then the people will say, West is on a Channel 1 sound system, I heard that. Or is on a Coxon, I heard that. Or it's on a Shaka, I heard that. Jayut, I heard that. So that is the essence of being a selector, that you can play that tune. And so that is the main objection.
I love that. Especially, and now have you seen a bit of evolution just with the digital age, with like pressing vinyls or?
Yeah, the digital age is that you see this now that so much things is going on with digital, is that pressing vinyl is good. It still keeps it going, because as I say, the youths want to know where it's coming from, and you need to teach them, and you need to teach them, and they will come and see you, as I said, select certain tunes. Uh-huh. But when you give a producer might give a tune to a song, and he gives it to him on a stick. You see, he gives him on a stick. I don't see where that's going, because that can, on a stick today, you can have that tune, and then your brethren and your brethren and your brethren and your sister and say, "Oh, give me that tune," and then all of a sudden, by the end of the week, another five people have the tune. So that doesn't make it exclusive. You see, so everybody wants to play the same tune, and everybody wants to play the top 10. But when you come to a certain sound system session, you want to hear something a little bit different, as well as something new. You see, so yeah, when it comes to, that's why Channel 1 is still cutting dub plate. So I cut dub plate because of a reason. The reason is that when you cut dubs, it's got the authentic sound, the roll-off sound. When you have the roll-off, I don't see that even on a stick, or on when people tapping things to play in a dance. You see, I can't agree with that at all. But there you go. As they said, I'm a dinosaur, but who done? Hell, what? So what? You see, that's how we work. You see, so give thanks.
Yeah, I love that, especially because there's something, as you said, it's so authentic, and it's it's a historic artifact as well. It's something that will last for years and years. And as vinyl has came through different waves of popularity, I think it's really important to have that exclusiveness, and it really adds that nice authentic taste. Now, for both of you, I would love to hear, what would you say some of your greatest accomplishment has been in music, and what did you learn from it?
I would say the traveling and meeting people and having a community of people, and all around the world, from Australia to South America to everywhere, Asia, Japan, wherever. I would say meeting people, and now I meet this guy called Taylor in this place, and it's like a family. So that's for me, getting the love in the community and meeting new people is, the main point for me, really, I would say.
Definitely. I think there's something so powerful about, dance and music. It's a medium that speaks beyond, any type of cultural language barrier. Everywhere you go, you can stand in front of a sound system, you see someone dancing, whether you speak the same language or not. It's, you're sharing that moment. It
That's
brings so
correct,
many
yeah.
people together, and the messages, especially in reggae music and dub, it's something that I think everyone can get behind. So, yeah, I love that you said that. I think community is so important.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the main thing is that excuse me. The main thing is that all over the world, you're bridging the gap, and you're bringing, as I say, it's a sound system community right across the world, and everyone to youths now want to build sound system. And you see, and it's very important that they have an identity. They've seen in the status of their country that they're not being allowed to do these, dances and whatever. But when they see people like, other sound systems, bigger sound systems, like Self Shanty, Irish and Stepper, King Shiloh, we bridge these gaps. And as Mackie said, you go to other countries. And here you see, no, when you go to other countries, you meet people who you probably would never meet in your life. And that's the whole idea. And people who come to your dance, which will probably wouldn't have the opportunity to come to your dance. And that's basically why we're here. And here you see, because when they have people coming to your dance, that one time can change their life. And here, we've had people come into a Channel 1 sound system sessions to say, from that night, my life has just changed. And he say, and that's what it's all about. So we say we're going to as far out as South America, and as I say, Australia. We've met Aborigines who's now want to come into the session, and they say, and that's what it's all about, bridging the gap and making the world smaller as sound system. The world is small already, but we can adjust ourselves to whatever.
I love that. Yeah, just building that community and having it all together. Now, if you could give any emerging artists or sound system crew any advice, what do you think it would be?
Before you start building big sound system, make sure you get a van. Taylor, get a van.
Taylor, get a van.
Get a van. Before you do that, get a van, because it makes sense. We have sound systems what's been hooked up in mommy's yard and daddy's yard and whatever. Get a van, and you see, get a lockup, because that's very important. Because one day, mommy and daddy's gonna say, "I want it out of here." You see, so we've all gone through all that, and you see, so that's the sacrifices you make, and you see, and one day you have money in your pocket, the next day there's no money in your pocket because you have to pay for a lockup and all these things. It goes with the territory, and so that's important. But I would say the first thing about youth man bringing up sound system, make sure you have somewhere to put it. That's the fire.
What about you, Mackie?
They just need to learn the trade and have respect for the veterans and just learn the trade. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you both for sharing that. That's about all that we have for today. So I do want to say thank you so much for taking this time, for being here. It's been a pleasure getting to hear your stories, your insight. We're very grateful for that. So
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thanks.
All right, now let's dance.
All right.